What's going on everybody, my name's CakeyC and welcome back to the channel. So you're all probably aware that Activision and Infinity Ward rolled out a brand new patch on the 18th of May. So I know this video is coming out slightly after the patch was actually released, and my only answer for that is this. I'm sure I'm not the only one who has seen this screen this week. But with that being said, patch 1.21 is a very big patch. It's a title patch, and when we talk big, we talk gigabytes, coming in at around 21 to 30 gigabytes depending on which platform you are currently playing on, and it has good reason too. This patch is filled, bringing updates such as introduction of new maps, gun tweaks, buffs and nerfs, updated playlists, and many bug fixes. But anyway, enough of moaning about how much space this game takes up. Let's get into the patch notes. Let's kick things off with Warzone. So in Warzone, the 4 playlists that are available as it stands now are Solos, Battle Royale Trios, Battle Royale Quads, and Blood Money Quads. So what are you going to see when you get into those games? The first thing you might notice is the introduction of the armor box. So these are available to pick up off the ground as normal loot, or they are purchasable at the buy stations for $6,000. This works the same way as a munitions box does, and you will be able to resupply the whole team's armor. I think this is a great addition. It means that all players in the team can have their armor completely replenished instead of crowdfunding $1,500 each and getting your armor that way. It's just a much quicker and more efficient way to do it. The next thing you might notice is that they've also added a few more guns that can be looted. They've added in an epic AX50, a legendary Kilo 141, an epic FAL, a legendary MP7 and an epic AUG. One of the biggest changes we see to Warzone in this update is that the Gulag loadouts have now changed. So you will still be randomly given a weapon when you go into the Gulag, but now there's a larger choice of what those weapons will be. You won't be just limited to a pistol and a shotgun, you will now be able to use assault rifles and submachine guns. And the list is as follows: Kilo 141, M4, AK-47, M13, the SCAR, the Ram 7, MP5, AUG, P90, and the Striker 45. And it must be pointed out that all of these guns will be the base gun. They won't be any form of variant or blueprint, they will be the standard gun. Some of you will also know that the bunkers can now be opened. Once you've gained access, there will be numerous boxes of legendary loot to choose from, and it will definitely be worthwhile getting in these bunkers. With the amount of money that you'll be able to pick up from the boxes in these bunkers, makes this an extremely important aspect to the game. And they've also rolled out a few smaller fixes as well, which include the RPG kill radius for players with full armor has now been reduced. Obviously the shield turret has been replaced with the armor box at the buy stations. The shield turret is still available to pick up off the ground. And finally, something that definitely needs to be mentioned here is that the final circle will now move in all Battle Royale game modes. Now we all know that the final circle technically moves by moving inwards, making a smaller radius second by second. The circle itself will now move around the map to try and prevent those players from getting in an advantageous position or camping a certain spot. Hopefully this change will free up that final circle, make the players move around a bit more and afford for a more dynamic final circle play instead of just being shot by someone who's camping. Okay, so moving on to the multiplayer side of Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Two of the biggest introductions that come with this patch are the introduction of the classic multiplayer map Hardhat and the new Gunfight Map Aisle 9. The Hardhat map seems to just be a sort of remastered version of the map. They've added 2 sets of doors to the middle part of the map to incorporate that Modern Warfare style of play, but other than that, the map is pretty much just a remastered version of the map with an update in the colours and the lighting and so on. And as we've just mentioned, the introduction of patch 1.21 will bring the new Gunfight Map Aisle 9. Now this is just a section of Atlas Superstore that has been taken out and turned into a gunfight map. But this new map brings a slight twist, and this introduces a new style of gunfight game. This will be a 3v3 mosh pit, so to speak, and you'll be able to play things like domination, kill confirmed, and grind. Now I think this is a really interesting thing to add into the game. With the introduction of Gunfight, it felt like more of an expansion of the old 1v1 game modes that used to be seen in games like Modern Warfare 2. But with this addition of a 3v3 objective-based game mode, this could open up a lot of opportunity for the franchise. Now, if you look at one of Activision Blizzard's biggest games, World of Warcraft, one of the main aspects to the end game content is actually arena play, where players will face off against each other in either a 2 versus 2 or a 3 versus 3 setting. I think this game mode has a lot of potential. It could easily be made into a ranked play, where 3 players face off against another 3 players on a rating system, where the players can earn different rewards based off the rating and how high they can get their rating. I think that would be really interesting, and I'm looking forward to see where this may go in the next couple of weeks and months. And whilst we're on the topic of playlists, the playlist update for the multiplayer Modern Warfare as it stands is return of Realism Mosh Pit, Reinfected Ground War, Core Ground War, Blueprint Gunfight, the Isle 9 Face-Off Mosh Pit, and Hardhat 24/7. And then before we get into the gun aspects of this new update, there are a few fixes that have gone on in the multiplayer side. I'm not going to mention them all, but a few of them include they've fixed a bug where your operator cannot be seen in the squad walk, which was actually featured on one of my previous videos. They've put a fix in for some players spawning facing a wall while playing free-for-all on backlot. They've fixed a XP exploit in Hardpoint, and they fixed various map exploits throughout the game. So now let's have a quick look at the updates for the guns that will obviously affect multiplayer and Warzone. We'll kick things off with the Renetti pistol. Now most of you will know that this gun was completely overpowered. It would destroy anyone in multiplayer, it would destroy anyone at close range in Warzone, especially the akimbo version of the Renetti pistol. And there was pretty much no point playing hardcore playlists with this Renetti pistol available. So what have they done about it? They've reduced the max ammo reserve. They've also given the MK3 burst mod a significant hip spread increase, which will mean it'll be less accurate when firing from the hip. And they've also given the MK3 burst mod a small decrease in damage. They've now reduced the damage when the Akimbo and MK3 burst mods are both equipped. So that is a huge nerf for the Renetti guys. I'm not sure whether it will still be a viable pistol to use or people will revert back to using the Magnum or something else. There's been a few other slight tweaks and changes to some of the guns. The FAL has had a decrease in the aim down sight speed time, and so has the SCAR. They've reduced the penalty for holding breath too long with sniper scopes. You won't be able to tell this much in multiplayer, but this will really affect some gunfights in Warzone. You won't be getting that huge big sway if you hold your breath and don't take a shot. They've reduced that down. The VLK Rogue has had a slight buff, an increase in rate of fire, an increase in close damage for the 12 gauge, increase in damage range to the 6-inch revolt barrel. Now one of the biggest buffs that comes with this update is actually for the Holger-26. I won't go into all of the buffs, some of them are for individual attachments, but overall there has been an increase in move speed, improved aim down sight speed time, and a recoil reduction. And I'll put some of the attachment buffs up on screen now. Moving on from multiplayer, we can now have a quick look at the store. There's only really one noteworthy pack here that we're going to talk about, and that is the Ghost Pack Contingency. And for 2400 COD points you will unlock the classic Ghost skin, which I'm sure a lot of players will be going for at the moment. That is a fantastic skin, bringing back all of that nostalgia from the previous Modern Warfare games. You will unlock the Ghostly Premonitions Assault Rifle Blueprint, a Handgun Blueprint, a Charm, a Melee, a new Operator Finishing Move, which is actually quite similar to some of the stuff we've already seen before, a new Quip, a new Calling Card, a new Emblem, and a new Spray. Nothing too exciting in that pack, guys. I think the main thing is the classic Ghost skin. I think that is basically the buying point for that pack. I think it's absolutely amazing. I'm glad they've put this in at this time in the game. And finally, we can touch on the Special Operations updates. I don't play the Spec Ops side of the game that much, so I don't really know how much these changes will affect the gameplay, but I will touch on them quickly for you regardless. So some of the updates include when players are respawned via the plane, their weapons will now start with at least one full magazine each, fixing the problem where some players were respawning without any ammo. In Operation Headhunter, there has been a fix for the players keeping the gunship munition if the team wipes during the tank assault section. And for Operation Brimstone, there has been a fix for the extraction crate appearing to be already open if the team had wiped and restarted earlier in the match. And just like multiplayer in Warzone, they have included a few fixes which I will pop on screen for you guys right now. And the final message of the patch notes on the Infinity Ward website, if we read it out, it doesn't really make much sense, but the general thought is that it's something to do with Warzone and the bunkers opening up. Hopefully we'll find out a bit more in the next coming weeks. But the patch notes end with the statement, number station redacted is protocol yellow, activate redacted system, redacted is inbound, awaiting correct authorization. Now again, I'm not quite sure what that means. I am intrigued by the redacted is inbound part. I'm not sure what could be incoming to the map. Maybe a big environmental change or something like a live event that we've seen in Fortnite. I'm not quite sure, guys. Leave a comment down below what you think might be coming to the map, possibly in Season 4. And there we have it, guys. That is pretty much all of the main information that you need to know about patch 1.21, which was rolled out on the 18th of May. If you want to check out the full patch notes, I will leave the link down below. Like I said, there are a few bug fixes that I haven't touched upon just because they're not as important as some of the other major changes that we discussed here. Now guys, if you enjoyed the video at any point or you found any of this information useful, please let me know in the comments below. Smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for all of the latest Call of Duty news, tips, tricks, how-tos and much more.